Alright, in this video I'm going to be working the yellow-collared female that I'm keeping to title myself, who is now named Cathane. I call her Cat for short, so I have a dog named Cat. But here's same thing we did with Colt. Back tie, slippery floor, and some rag work. Once again, I checked the teeth before we did any work to make sure there were no loose teeth, no gums bleeding or anything like that, and off we go. Now I'd like to, make note that these harnesses are still a little loose on them, but the small black one is too small, so they're in that middle stage there, but they'll grow into it. So sometimes they spend more time trying to crawl out of it than I'd like, but it is what it is, and we just keep playing. So here you can tell she's super excited about rag work. She's a little bit more dirty when it comes to thrashing. She's a little bit more aggressive in her bite work. Colt has high prey drive. He has solid temperament when he's biting. He's calm, like he'll kind of growl and grunt, but I think that's how he releases some of that stress and tension in bite work, and then he counters back and does some nice solid calm bites when she doesn't growl or whine as much on the bite. Instead, she likes to thrash. But same thing, stick work here. See if she'll come off. Doesn't even stop wagging her tail. So I don't work the stick as much with her because I'm going to be doing a lot of rattle jugs and things. So I just want to make sure she doesn't pop off of it. And here's another point I'd like to make when you're doing back ties. Make sure that the leash is high enough to where whenever they do spin in circles from excitement, they're not choking themselves. Normally this wouldn't be so bad, but since the harness is a little loose, it spins a little bit more and it catches up. But other than that, perfect height, lots of good bites, lots of good counters. And what I like to do is I like to verbalize what I'm looking for. It helps me remember and not miss things. If you try to stay too quiet in your training, you'll tend to miss things because you're too self-conscious. With me, whenever I do something, I verbalize what I see that's good, what I see that's bad, because it's in the moment and it keeps things fresh, and I call it when I see it, so it helps me stay more vigilant. So when she counters good, I'll say, yes, good counter. When she bites good and deep, I'll say, good deep bite. These are the things I'm looking for. So here, a lot of back pressure. She's not sliding off. She's a little chewy, a little thrashy, so she is a little bit different in the bite than her brother, and that's fine. No two siblings are exactly the same usually, so lots of misses. And I'll do something different with her here. Now, keep in mind with her, I'm going to be working in PSA, maybe even a little bit of French ring. So there's going to be a lot of leg bites and arm bites. For my personal protection dogs, police dogs, things like that, I like to have them bite the armpit and the legs. Those are the two targets that I like to teach them. So I'll start introducing her to leg bites with a rag and with a tug, and you'll see that in this video. I was recently talking to a friend in California that does French ring about doing as much without a decoy as possible. A lot of helper work. Michael Ellis's protection training without a decoy video is amazing, but for a long time I've taught leg bites and things like that without a suit, and so I got a lot of the leg work, pun intended, done before we even moved to a real decoy or a real helper. But see there, I held it up to my arm as it was an arm bite, moved in, she jumped up just fine, targeted just fine, and now I'm doing a leg. I just simply stuck it underneath my foot, slid it in, and presented it. She bit, and I give her a couple smacks. She doesn't come off. Reward her. And so it's just simple things like that. And with a rag, with a tug, and then you can go up to a leg sleeve. But a lot of these things you can train without a decoy. You can do it with just a helper, with somebody that would like to help you train. A lot of these things you can do. My back tie came undone, so I'm tying her back. But very good bite work with this female puppy. Best biting cat I've ever seen. So another leg bite coming in, moving. She's snapping. And then I present it a little bit more. She comes in, And there she gets it. She counters in a little bit more. Back pressure, and then I let her win it. So that's just a quick session here with the female. As you see, it just below 3 months of age. Well, they might September, October, November. Just now, 3 months of age, doing really good bite work, real solid drives. And here, when they start teething, we're going to be focusing primarily on narcotics, tracking, and obedience. So a couple more, and then I'll switch to a big tug. I mean, they're at the age now, they have plenty of drive and good bite development that I'm going to start putting them on tugs as soon as possible. So another couple leg bites. She moves in, tilts her head to the outside. It's always important to train your dog to put the eyes on the outside of the leg. I tower over her to see if she gets any frustrated. Her tail doesn't stop wagging. She's keeping eye contact with me. She's not cutting her eyes away or getting nervous. And she tries to wrap her left front legs around the bite, which is fine because eventually in protection work, if they bite the leg and then wrap their arms and try to do a single leg takedown, cool, that's fine with me. I can work with that. So here I get her off the rag and move to a big tug. So here I step on the handle, I'm slide it in, and there she goes, bam, jumps and bites right on it. She tries to thrash it, but it's just a little too big for her to be dirty with. And so I move in, I grab it, give her some back pressure. So even that tug is about as big as her mouth can get on, but she's biting, she's holding, it's heavy. I'm trying to get her to transition off that tug onto the rag again, which I'll show in different videos later and explain why I do that. But here she's thrashing. You know, with Colt, he doesn't thrash, he just bites down, clamps down, fights, and growls and grunts. She's mostly quiet, but she likes to thrash. She wants to kill it. And you see her dig in. But these slick floors don't bother them. The different types of tugs don't bother them. As long as they're biting something and fighting, they're happy. And that's what I'm looking for at this age. Because if they're this, awesome with prey drive and bite work at this age, once they start teething, we can stop. And I guarantee when we come back, when they get done teething in a month or two, they're going to hop right back on that bite work. So grab your dog and go ahead and start working on them.